What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the pressures of being perfect as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as just a high-achieving, high-performing individual. We're going to go through some concepts behind this, and then I want to walk away from this video with you having some actionable things you can do to overcome this pressure and start living life with more freedom and more peace. So if you're watching this video, I can probably guess that you have this pressure within yourself to be perfect. Maybe this pressure is to be perfect as a husband, to be perfect as a father, to be perfect as a business owner, CEO, manager, any and all of those areas, any kind of leadership role that you're in. But what if I were to tell you you don't have to have that pressure? Like, even that simple concept right there of just letting you know, you hearing these words, that you don't have to have that pressure, I think is a breakthrough for a lot of people. Because I think we set this expectation, at least as men, and I'm speaking from experience, we set this expectation that in order for this to work, I have to be perfect. In order for me to be my best, I have to be perfect. But you don't. You don't have to be perfect. And I think if we can take that concept out of the equation of perfection, it'll help us move forward with more peace, more grace, and probably more joy and excitement with what we're doing. Think back in history to anything great that was created or invented. How many of those people were perfect? How many of those people stepped up to the plate and every single time knocked it out of the park? None. Literally none of them. So why do you have this expectation within yourself to be perfect? See, it's funny. I heard this a while ago, and I think it's so applicable to this topic right here. But it's this concept of like, we are so much more gracious and understanding when it comes to other people, right? We give them a pass. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Try harder next time. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't talk to ourselves that way. We're actually the opposite. We're much harder on ourselves. We come down on ourselves. We make ourselves feel bad. And it's like, where does that get us? How does that encourage us? Is that the same encouraging approach that we take when it comes to other people? It's not. So what is it going to take for you to step away from this pressure of being perfect in all of these areas of our life? Well, I think number one, it's going to take realizing that I don't have to be perfect. Literally, I want you to say that to yourself. I don't have to be perfect. Now, don't take this as a soft approach to pursuing the things that you want in your life. Don't take this as a way out to slack off and to not work hard. Because, guys, we all know this. If we want to achieve anything, we have to put in the work. I think it's James 2:6. I'm not 100% sure. But somewhere in the Bible, I know it says faith without works is dead. So what that means is, even though we believe in ourselves, if we don't put in the work, like, it doesn't matter. We can't accomplish anything. So you have to put in the work. So I'm not saying you not being perfect is okay in the sense of like, slow down, pull back a little bit, don't work as hard, take more time off. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, don't get so down on yourself in the moments where you come up short, in the moments where you fail, in the moments where you don't have the outcome that you thought you were going to have. Have more grace, have more patience, have more understanding, just like you would with anybody else. The next thing we need to do when it comes to this concept of perfection is look around us. Look at the recipe for success when it comes to the history of everything that was ever created or built. Look at the people in your life, or the people you look up to, or the people that you follow on social media, and look at the details to their process, from when they started to where they're at. I guarantee you, all of them will tell you, man, this was not a pretty journey. This was not perfect by any means. So that fact, again, alone should give you the peace to understand that the trials you're going through, the challenges you're facing, the failure after failure after failure that you feel building up inside of you, that's actually normal. It's okay. Especially if you guys don't know this, I'm a dad of 3, right? And us as dads, like, we never get it right, especially early on in the process or in the journey. But something that we're not going to do is we're not going to give up. We're not going to slow down. Like, our kids, at least for me, like, my kids are my life. And I can be honestly and say, like, the dad I am today, way better than the dad I was almost 10 years ago. My oldest is 10. But that didn't come overnight. That came from trial and error. That came from messing up. That came from not responding the right way. That came from failing in so many ways, shapes, and forms as a dad that now I'm at a much better place. But again, I'm not going to stop there. I still want to be better. I still want to grow. So if we could just understand and look around us and see the people that we look up to in all of these areas and understand that they also went through a period of growth, a period of doubt, a time in their life or a time in their journey, building the business, being a dad, being a spouse, whatever it might be, where they're like, man, am I cut out for this? It's normal and it's okay. So if we can recognize those things, you will be in a much better position to allow yourself to have more peace and have more joy. So going away from this video, I want you to do a couple things to start to think differently. Number one, I want you to be more mindful of the things you think and the things you say. Be more positive to yourself, just like you would talk to somebody else. Maybe just like you would talk to your kids when they mess up and they don't do it the right way the first time. Be more mindful of the self-talk that you have. Number two, and these aren't in any particular order, but number two, I'd probably do this one first, is seek the Lord. Like, ask God to give you confidence. Ask God to give you help. Ask God in times of trial and frustration to be your peace and to be your joy. In the Bible, it says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all of these things will be given to you. When was the last time you, during a hard time or a hard moment or a hard season, when was the last time you went to the Lord? When was the last time you prayed? When was the last time you just kind of gave it all to him and put it at his feet? It's probably been a while. I know for me, for a long time, it had been a long time since I had done that. But man, when you do, when you understand that Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, the King of Kings, literally wants you to lay at his feet your worries, your anxieties, your fear. I talked about this in one of my Instagram groups, but you know, maybe this is common knowledge for some people, but it's just like, man, in the Bible, it says, do not fear, or something along those lines, 365 times. 365 days in the year. I think he wants us not to fear. And the only way we don't fear the things that are going on in our life or in this world is by giving it to him and trusting him and saying, God, like, I can't control this. I'm giving it to you. So your mindset, going to God. And then the last thing I want you to do, and this is super important, I'm big on this, is proximity is power. Surround yourself with people who are also positive. Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. As a dad, a husband, an entrepreneur, business owner, a leader in any kind of shape, any way, shape, or form, surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. I guarantee you, when you fall on times of struggle or doubt or fear, they're going to say, hey man, like, I've been there, I get it, but trust me, just keep going. They're going to speak some life into you. Surround yourself with people who want to be better themselves, who are working on these very similar things that you are. Come together, figure out how we can lift each other up and move in a specific direction and not let our thoughts and our reality sometimes get us down, because there is good things to come. And if you can do those three things, shift your mindset, go to the Lord, surround yourself with more high-level thinking people, more positive, enthusiastic people, man, your whole world can change. And then this pressure of being perfect, it's no longer there. You still want to be your best. You still want to provide the best product or the best service. You want to be the best dad, the best spouse. You still want to be the best, but you're no longer bound by these chains of perfection, because it's not even real. So I hope at the end of this video, everything we've gone through, I hope you see that you can actually start taking action and overcoming the pressure of being perfect. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys on the next video.